Hello viewers, you're welcome to my channel. This is Luchi's Design. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to cut and sew this stylish kimono jacket you are seeing here. It has an inner pocket, a cam collar, and a belt you can use to tie it at the back. I also added a kissing pleat at the back to make it more stylish. Please make sure you subscribe to my channel and turn on notification bell. Okay, for this gown, I'll be cutting the front part first. So I folded my fabric into two. I used the biggest part of my body, that is my hip divided by 4. I added 1 inch for ease allowance and 1.5 inches for sewing allowance. I also measured my length. The length I'm working with is 41 plus 2 inches folding allowance. Okay, this is my shoulder. I measured my shoulder. 16 divided by 2, I have 8. Then I mark it. Now from my shoulder I came down by 9 inches to mark my chest line. After that, I'll measure from my shoulder to 16 inches for my waistline. I also marked for my hip. I connect from my shoulder to my chest line. So the next thing I will do now is to measure my neck width. The neck width I'm working with is 3 inches, while the neck depth is 2.5. I use 2.5 because I want the cam collar to be high. And now come down by 1 inch to mark my shoulder slope. I connected it to my neckline. Now I will divide my chest line by 2. I came in by 0.75. So to draw my armhole, I'll measure my bust. My bust is 39 divided by 4. I added 1 inch for ease allowance. The ease allowance is because it's a jacket. It's not meant to be tight, it will be free. So I added 1.5 inches for my sewing allowance, and I'll connect my armhole through my armhole curve. I'll measure my waist. Okay, I'll mark my waist divided by 4. Do the same thing on the hip. Added my necessary sewing allowance on the hip. Now connect all my lines. From my hip, I drew it down to the hem. That's all I have for the front. What I will do now is I will cut it out. I'll cut through the lines. This is what I have when I was done cutting it. And I will slash the center front open. Slash it open. So the next thing to cut now is my back part. So I'll be doing a little calculation. The full length I'm working with is 41. I subtracted the upper part, which is from my shoulder to my half length, that's 16 inches. I will be left with 25. That 25 is for the down part, where I will be doing my bust pleat. And for the width, I will divide my round waist by 2. 36 divided by 2, I have 18 inches. I will multiply 18 inches by 3, and I will add 2 inches for sewing allowance. Then I will cut it out and set it aside. Cut it out. So I'll now cut the upper part. I measure my shoulder width divided by 2. Mark 9 inches for my chest line. I'll mark my waist. I added half inch for joining. Now draw my straight line. I took 3 inches for neck width and 1 inch for depth. On my shoulder, I came down by ½ inch for my shoulder slope, and I connected it. I divided my chest line by 2, and I came in by ½ inch. I drew my armhole curve. I placed my bust measurement plus 1 inch and 1.5 inches for sewing allowance. I did the same thing on my waist. So I want to add a shoulder dart for the back to make it look more stylish. So I divided my shoulder by 2, and I connected it. From my bust point to my shoulder. That's what I have. Because I will be slashing it open, I have to replace it on my armhole. I added ½ inch for joining, so that I will not run short of fabric. And on my dart leg, I took half inch, 0.5 on both sides. I connected it to my bust point. From my shoulder to my bust point is 10. Connected it. So I will now cut it out. After cutting it, I also cut my lining for the front and for the back part. Then I will iron my soft gum on it to give it a little more weight. Just iron your gum there to stabilize it. After that, I will now use my lining to turn the front part. I'll just align 2 of them together, align the lining and the fabric together. I will now join the down part first. I reduce my lining by 1 inch, and I will use 0.25 to join the 2 sides. I'll join it. I'll also do the same thing for the other side. I will join my lining and I will join my back parts separately, and I will join the lining separately. I won't be closing it now. I will do my kissing pleat for the down part before joining the fabric together. So this is when I was done sewing the 2 sides. See the down part, how the down part look like. I'll now turn it inside out. And use your iron to press it down. Iron it flat. Okay. In my back part, for the lining, I join it separately and the main piece separately. I'll set it aside. Okay. This is the 2 front piece. This is what I have. If you observe, I did not turn the neckline. Okay. This is the piece for the back part. What I did here is that I mark out 3 inches for my sewing allowance, and I start marking 2 inches. Just mark 2 inches all through. I measured 9 inches downwards where my folding will stop. Okay, I'll now roll it down. Just take your time and mark the 2 inches. Okay, I'm done marking it. I will start pleating. I'll first grab the first line. See what I'm doing here. Okay, you use your iron to press it down. Also use your pin to secure it so that it won't scatter. You grab the next line, face it opposite the first one. Make sure it's facing each other. Okay, just watch what I'm doing here. Okay, that's how you will be doing it. After this one, I will grab the next one to meet the other part. That is why it's called kissing pleat. I pleated it up to the half of my round waist. Just arrange it very well and iron it. I will now go to my machine and hold it down. I didn't know my camera was not recording when I was cutting the lining, so I will show you how I cut it. I folded it as a single flare, like a triangle. Place your ball split, make sure you fold it and spread the down part very well so that it will give you room to arrange it at the down part when you are ironing it. So I reduced my lining by 1 inch for that one. Also iron my gum stay on the lining, but I did not iron gum stay on the ball split. So I will join the up and down separately for the main fabric and also do the same thing for the lining. After that, I'll now iron, open press it so that everything will be neat. I will also do the same thing for the main fabric. After that, I will now place two of them together. Make sure you arrange it very well. Please use your pin to secure it. I will now go to my sewing machine and sew the down part first. After sewing the down part, I'll turn it and sew the two sides. Sew the two sides with 0.25. After sewing it, I will now turn it inside out. This is what I have. See the down part, very neat. Iron it very well. Okay, you can arrange your ball split very well and iron it. Okay, I'll hold my neckline down. Next thing is to join the shoulder. To achieve a neat finishing, just use one part of the lining to cover the other part. Arrange it very well. Use your pin to hold it, and you now use half inch to sew it. After sewing it, you turn it. This is what I have. I've seen the rough edges. It's very neat. Do the same thing on the other shoulder. After that, I will now use 1 inch to shape the side. If you are watched up to this part, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. Subscription is absolutely free, and also turn on your notification bell so that you get notified anytime I post a new video. Okay, I'm done joining it. I'll now put my belt holder. First of all, open press the two sides. Open press and iron it very well. Okay, this is when I was attaching my belt holder at the side. Attach it. There is a very simple thing to do. This is the end of the part 1. I'll be uploading the part 2, where I'll be teaching you how to neatly cut and sew your inner pockets and how to install it. I also teach you how to fix your cam collar. Please make sure you subscribe to my channel